everyone, and welcome. I'm finally back. I'm stitching Scotty, and this is one of my Scotty Striker, and welcome to Flosstube number 244, my first video of 2026. Yes, I would just like to welcome everyone and thank everyone for the cards, the texts, the messages, the phone calls that you gave, and just all the nice things that you sent. I got gift cards for food and things like that while my husband was in the hospital. And for those of you that don't know, my husband had bypass surgery. He had a double bypass surgery, and that was basically all they could do for him for the blockages that he had. So, you know, we're just thankful he's still here. It was a journey. I usually don't talk a lot about myself, but at the end, right after Christmas, we went to the doctor to hear the results of his stress test, and they took him by ambulance to the hospital, where we sat for 12 hours in the lobby, where he contracted the stomach bug, the flu, and I got an upper respiratory infection. They postponed. He spent the night in the hall, so because they didn't have enough rooms, the hospital beds were all full, and our hospital has over 660 beds and a heart center with, I think, 30 or 40 beds. I'm not sure, and an overflow. The third day, we were able to get in the overflow, and after that, they postponed his surgery, like I said, three times, because he wouldn't have survived the surgery with the illness that he had. His numbers were so off. So thank you for the prayers, and God is good. He had the surgery, stayed in the hospital a week, so that was a 2-week stay in the hospital. Came home, fell the first night, sneaking out of the bed to go to the bathroom, and had to call EMS. Then a couple of days went by and he fell again. He was okay though. His blood pressure or blood sugar dropped, I'm not sure which, but anyway, they said he was okay. So the second time I was able to lower him to the floor because I got to him in time, and we went back to the doctor. She changed his medicines, and he's doing so much better. We still haven't got cardiac rehab, and you know, just pray that he gets that. Yeah, because we're having a time with that. But anyway, he's doing really good, and thank you. And without further ado, we're going to get started. This is one of my little Scotty Striker. And Winston said he wanted his time. And if you believe that, you know, look at him. He's like, I only want my treat. So what we did was, I got a good bit of stitching done, considering how much other stuff I've had to do. I have one fully finished object, and it is, oh, here it is. Everything's buried. It's the Valentine's Day Quaker, which I finished and I FFO'd, or fully finished. And I did this one on a blush fabric. I can't remember who it was from though. Oh, yes, I can. I lied. It was not blush. It was Fortnite Fabrics, and it was Weeks Dye Works. It's either Peony or Peony, whichever one you say. And I used the Floss Peony also. No, I lied. I used the Floss Peony from Weeks Dye Works, and the fabric is Poise. I'll get this right in a minute. I'm out of practice. And this is my finish right here. And I just put like a light, just like a pastel, and then I sewed a rickrack on it from Lady Dot Creates, and stuffed it with polyfill. And this is on 36 count Weeks Dye Works Poise. And the pattern is from Primrose Cottage Stitches. Now, I was really tickled to get that done. There's a lot of stitching in that. So that was my first FFO of the year, and my only FFO so far. Oh yeah. Okay, and speaking of my only FFO so far, I have a partially FFO. I finished finally Nativity Tiny Town by Heart and Hand, and I said I was going to make this into a drum. Okay, this one is on 32 count, and it's on a fabric flare, but I don't know the name of it. But I used all the call for threads, except I had to substitute the DMCs for Dublin Bay, Misty Mauve, and Wood Rose, because I didn't have those. And as you can tell, it's partially FFO'd. I even left the needle stuck in it where I was getting ready to gather it, you know, to do. But this is my finish. There we go. And I just sewed it together on the machine. And of course I put interfacing on it. And oh, I was trying to think. I can't remember whose video I watched. I know I've watched Helen D's, but I've also watched Vonna Pfeiffer's. Don't know if you can get those anymore. And there was somebody else that had one. I think it was Kathy Haberman from Hands On Design. But they make great videos about how to finish. So don't ever expect me to do one, because it wouldn't be good. 2 strands over 2. But this was fun. It really was. And I finished that while he was in the hospital. But the day I sat down to work on it, after I'd done the pillow, I was like, nope, can't be doing that. All right. And then the next finish I had, can you believe it? Was a Christmas ornament that's just been laying around for quite some time. It's from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And my printer wasn't being too good. It's called Christmas Goodies. But I just thought that was so cute. I did not get it fully finished. I was planning on having all this stuff fully finished the week after Christmas. Yeah, or the week of Christmas. And then, yeah, the week after Christmas, everything went crazy. But this is my finish. It says milk, cookies, and Christmas goodies. And I'm using a piece of very thin Witchell fabric. And it's stiff, but I like it. And I used 2 strands over 2. And I used all the call for threads. But I think it's a little large, but I think it's going to make a really, really nice Christmas ornament. So cute. All right. And this is on lavender 28 count. All right. Next. My next finish, I know, another one, was a start and a finish. And I was planning on having this one fully finished, but couldn't find the frame I wanted to pop it into, because I have one frame that I pop these holiday things in and out. And this is for my hashtag 13 for the 250th Sal with Nancy the Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher and Stitcher with a Laughing Face. They are hosting the Sal, and I'm plugging along, and it's a pattern by Shepherd's Bush, red, white, and blue. This was a kit. It had all the floss. It had the 10 count Tula fabric, and this was really good when my eyes were really tired. And this is what I have done on that. It's all ready to finish, fully finish. It's 3 strands of, let me see what they used. I can't remember. DMC and Weeks Dye Works threads over 1. Isn't that cute? They always have those cute little sheep in there. I just think that's just so cute. And that was just a real quick one to do. So, and it was really good to work on when he was in the hospital. So that was good. Then next, before Christmas, well, No, I don't know if it was before or after, but anyway, it was for temperature stitching. And I'm not talking about stitching the charts temperature. I'm talking about you figure out what the temperature is, and the next day you stitch that last number. And I had assigned different numbers for different temperatures. And that day, this one got pulled up a lot. 12 days of Christmas stockings. And Karen, the stitching owl, and I were hosting this stitch along last year. She finished a lot, and I finished up to number 6. Yes, and it's on black 28 count that I bought at Fat Quarter Shop. But I was so cute I thought this 6 geese laying was just so cute, and this one worked together. It came together really quick. I was impressed by how quick it came together. And it's 2 strands over 2. Let me get that thread off of it and show you again. Okay. So when I finished that, that's all of my finishes. So I had 4 finishes and 1 finish and I had 5 finishes, and then I FFO'd one of them. Okay. So then we'll get on to my new starts and my whips, and they're going to be kind of mixed up. Like I said, I was doing temperature stitching, and so I would stitch a little bit on this, one day, and stitch a little bit on that. And this was from Susan from Sweet Wing. Yeah, it was a thread a day, too, that I was doing from Susan with Sweet Wing Studio. And I used it also for temperature stitching. And I started 7 swans of swimming. So I got the top of the 7 and the branch at the top from Annie B. Spoke Art, and the 12 days of Christmas stockings. So hopefully I'll get that one done. This year maybe I can get the whole set done. That would be really nice. And then I can get all of them fully finished. Okay, I've got 1 through 4 fully finished. So I just need to finish 5 and 6. So, but I'll be stitching on that occasionally, but right now I'm going to give it a rest. All right, then for my temperature stitching, I started Mrs. Claus cookies earlier in the month, and this is by Susan from Sweet Wing Studio. And it didn't get called much, and I was very sad. It only got called twice, and the second time it got called, I didn't get much done. So this is all I got done on that. So I really need to work some more on this, because this will be something that'll go really, really quick. And this one is on, oh, excuse me. This is on Fiberlicious Woodland Lugana 32 count. Isn't that pretty? I love the green. So I'm using all the call for threads she has, and she charted it in DMC except for the one Gentle Arts, which I didn't have, so I had to use the DMC for that. So I used all DMC. But I love Susan's patterns. They are just so, so sweet. And Mrs. Claus just doesn't get enough recognition, so I think she should have more. Then also on my temperature stitching, excuse me. Okay, I also stitched on A Visit from St. Nick. And this is a collaboration with Kathy Barrick and her daughter, Liz Mathews, who is Hello from Liz Mathews. And the minute I saw this chart, I thought, oh my gosh, it's cute. This one got pulled about 3 times because of the temperature. And this is on 40 count Cedar River linen. And I want to say it's on Overcast, because I think that's the only color of her linen I have. And I'm using Week Style Works floss, and this is what I've got done. Sorry about the thread hanging out. There you go. But isn't that cute? I like the Santa Claus and the little chimney and those cute little reindeer. Just cute, cute, cute. And the border's cute too. So that stitched up real pretty too, and quick. I enjoyed stitching on that, so hopefully I'll be picking that one up again, because I really, really like that one. and I'd like to get it done. Well, you know, as a matter of fact, I'd really like to get all of them done. But, yeah, I can't stitch 24/7. Okay, and then on the temperature stitching, this one only got called like once maybe, or twice, I'm not sure. But this is also a Liz Mathews, and I got this at the Jingle Ball a couple of years ago, and this is Santa's Night Tree by Hello from Liz Mathews. I kind of lost my zing when I started at the Jingle Ball and didn't get it done before the Jingle Ball because I couldn't find the fabric. So I had to buy a piece of white and dye my own fabric. And I used the rip dye. And this is what I've got done. And it's on 36 count. And it was on a white linen. I don't even know what kind. And so I just squished it up in a jar and dyed it like Mama Loves You, GB Michelle said. So there you go. And it's 2 strands over 2. And let me tell you, that plaid is something else. I stitched and ripped and stitched and ripped. But I can't wait to get this one done. So hopefully I'll get something done on this one this year too. Okay. And I used 1 strand over 2 threads. Because I was really excited to finish it into a tree. But that didn't happen. Okay, so then I had a new start, and this was supposed to be on New Year's Day, but I didn't quite make it because of our schedule and how things went. And I didn't want to take this to the hospital because it was just too much. It was too big, too involved, and the thread count was 40. So, yeah, the light's not real good, or wasn't real good in his room. But I had committed to doing the stitch along at the Swindon retreat with Nicola Parkman, and this is Maria Wales Newsom, and I think that's very pretty. Now, I'm not using the call for threads. I bought the Vicky Clayton silks. This one's on 40 count hog bristle by Fox and Rabbit, and I worked on it twice, and this is what I've got done. But the border is very, very pretty. I got a lot of leaves done. But like I said, it's on 40 count. You got to have good light, or at least I do. And, you know, it's a lot. But it's 1 strand of Vicky Clayton silks over 2 threads. And my goal is to have this done by December 31st, 2026. And everybody's going, yeah, she's not going to do it. Who knows? But I have some friends that are also doing it, and I put it in my special bag from Gail. Oh goodness. Oh, and I'm just, oh Gail, I'm so sorry. She's got this beautiful little fob on here, but I love this bag, and I will link her below, because I don't have an Etsy shop today. So be sure and go to Gail's Etsy shop and check out the project bags. I mean, this thing is quilted, and it's very, see, there's all my silks, and it's very sturdy. I mean, she's used really good quality fabric and some really good interfacing, because, I mean, it must be the heavier interfacing because it's just really great. And for some reason, I can't think of the name of her Etsy shop. But like I said, I'll link it below, or I will print it across here. Yeah. Okay. So then, I thought, well, you know, I haven't done a lot of the 13 for the 250th stitch along. So I better get busy. So I picked up America, Home Sweet Home from Primrose Cottage. And I've been stitching on that the past couple of days. I stitched on it a little bit in the hospital, but not much. And I thought I was going to get a finish today, but then I was like, oh yeah, I've got more over here. And I've got some grass, and I've got to write the words Home Sweet Home at the bottom. But I think that is just precious, and I can't wait to make a pillow out of it. And this one's on Fabric Flare. Excuse me. Let me see if I can figure out. I don't think I wrote down what it's on. Let me see if I did. I've been trying to write on the chart, but of course I did not. Nope, I didn't. I'll get better. But anyway, it's on Fabric Flare, and I can't think of what it is. But it's 2 strands over 2. But it's so cute, and I think it's on 28 count. I just love this. It's so pretty. So, that will be a really pretty one to get done for the sesquicentennial in July. Okay, and then the next one I did, this one is also for the 13 for the 250th stitch along. And now, I need your opinion. Should I count each one of these little scissor fobs as a finish, a start and a finish, or should I count all these as one start? Because I want to do most all of them. And I want to do them all as scissor fobs. But these are the festive little fobs, the Americana edition from Heartstring Samplery. And these are so much fun. You can sit down and stitch them in like one day. And she uses DMCs and Weeks Dye Works. I used all Weeks Dye Works except for the Havana, and I had to use a tarnished gold for one of the colors. But let's see. There's the little flag. I thought that was cute. That was a start and a finish. And then I started 2 because I got to a certain point and I was like, I don't have that color. Not only did I not have the color on one, I was missing 2 colors. So don't ask me if they fell out of the bag or what. But anyway, since then I have found more. I ran out of the tarnished gold, so I had to go get some out of my drawer. And the other one, I just had to substitute another color for it because I just didn't have it. So I started the Liberty Bell, and then I started this Patriotic Flower. But I couldn't do any more because I didn't have those 2 colors. And I thought, I'm not starting anymore until I get more of these done. So there you go. And they're on 32 count. And I'm using 2 strands over 2. So that one's a finish, if it is a finish. Or is it a 1 out of 7 or 8 finish? And these are 2. So I've got the 3 starts and the 1 finish, start and finish. See, these are just cute. And I've already got 2 done and finished. Yeah, they're not fully finished though. Okay, so we're going to put that back where it goes, because if we don't, it will not be good. Okay, that's how I lost my silk for the American Eagle. Yeah, so we're still looking for that. All right, then I'm doing a cat and a cardinal stitch along with, Niecy Lynn and Patty Penn, stitching with my kitties. They're 2 of my really good Flosstube friends. And I tell you, Christy is so sweet. I guess she must have watched my video and saw me struggling because I was doing Scotty Dad, trying to figure out what to put in the picture. And guess what? A Scotty dog and a cardinal Christmas. Oh, is that not so sweet? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Christy. You're so sweet. So I started that. And I got a good amount done. And this was a Christmas. Oh, this is what's really funny. My oldest daughter got me this for Christmas. Completely kitted up. Now, my oldest daughter must not pay much attention. She doesn't watch this video, so I don't feel bad telling you this. She bought me some Ada, which I don't mind stitching on Ada, but it's not, the look I like the best. But I thought, she was nice enough to get me this. I'm going to stitch it on Ada. And it was really good hospital stitching. And look at all I got done. Isn't that nifty? Got the cardinal done, and I'll be starting the Scotty very soon. And this is on 14 count Aida, and I'm using 2 strands over 2. So pretty. So sweet. Then, not to be outdone, her younger sister, my other daughter, she bought me some cross stitch too. I like to fell over. She bought me a oh goodness. She bought me a Lynn kit. And it's it's called Joy in the Journey. Okay. This was a whole kit. And it's also on Aida, 14 count. And this is what I got done on that. I had to start both of them because I can't make them jealous of each other. You know, I don't want to show favorites because I love them both. And I got this much done on hers. Isn't that cute? This is going to be so sweet. And it says, blessed is the life that finds joy in the journey. Yeah. And they got me some more Aida. And I believe I told you about that. And the one that Jeanette got me, my oldest daughter, the cat and the cardinal, it was done on the Artiste Aida from, I think this is Hobby Lobby. So, yeah. So, I've got 2 cute Aida projects to do. So, that's good. And that was really good. I would have an upstairs project and a downstairs project. And usually the upstairs project was when my husband was in the bed upstairs. And then when I would go downstairs, after he got to go downstairs, I had a project just out that I would stitch on for that. Okay, and the other thing, the last thing I stitched on, it was my blessing sampler for last year that I didn't get finished. And I love it. I do. I love all the things I'm stitching. But you know, I flit around from this to that. But I love this pattern. And this is from Chris the Camping Stitcher. And it's called Stitcher's Prayer. Isn't that cute? And it says, now I sit down in my chair, my needle, floss, and fabric there. I stitch and calm my busy mind whenever I can find the time. And I thought, no wonder I didn't finish this last year. I needed it this year. Caregiving is hard. So I admire all you caregivers. I'm telling you. Whew, yeah, I know now why I'm not a nurse. Yes. All right, so I'm stitching this on 36 count. And I'm using all the call for threads. And this is how much I got done. So I made a little progress. It probably won't get finished before the end of the month because I'll be flitting around to something else. But at least I got more done. And I'm going to try my best to stitch on it some more and finish this one very soon. Because I really, really like it. Yes. And you know, I did tell a story. I forgot one that I FFO'd. I knew I had 2 FFOs. It was buried under the pile. So let me get it out. It'll be a minute. I can't believe I forgot this one as hard as I worked to get this one finished. 2 years ago at the Jingle Ball, I bought Jingle Around the Block by Kathy Haberman of Hands-On Design, excuse me. And it's a fully finished piece. I put my initials on the bottom and put 2025 because this is a memorable occasion. And I did the Smyrnas at the top on here with a piece of wool that I bought in the kit. And I just think this is just so cute. Just so, so cute. So it's on probably 28 count white linen. Don't know what kind. And I bought the pins from Just Another Button, or from Kathy Haberman, but they're from Just Another Button Company. And I used the call for threads, and I stitched 2 strands over 2. I cannot believe I forgot to show this. Yeah. Okay. So that's all I have, and I apologize for my video being so long. But for my stitching. Okay. Sorry about that. But now we're going to go to my end of the year thing. Like, how did I do on WIPGO? Didn't do too good at the end of the year. I just kind of went, Bleh. So anyway, I never did do a blackbird in November, and I didn't even touch a Mill Hill kit or I did touch the Teresa Kogut's, but I didn't finish anything. So I have 3 blocks that I did not get filled, but that's okay. This is the closest I've ever come in WIPGO, so that's good. So I talked about that I wasn't going to do WIPGO again, but I changed my mind. So for 2026, here's my WIPGO. And what I'll do is I'll go over it on my next video. But I did meet my goal for the sampler, which was number 2. And I met my goal because I finished my Valentine's Day Quaker and FFO'd it, which was number 7. So number 2 and number 7 will be colored in. And Jessie Marie Does Stuff has already put out the numbers because of the weather. That's why I'm doing my video, because I thought, ooh, I may not have power because we're supposed to get ice. So number 5 and number 22. So I'll be doing a Halloween project and a hands-on design project. So I'm looking forward to that. And my WIPGO is going to be 4 days for each project. And it doesn't have to be finished. I just need to do 4 days. And I'm also, in January, because everything was so crazy, I had stopped temperature stitching. But I'm going to start that back the first day of February, probably. Or, well, I may start it back early. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But I haven't even planned anything out. I don't have any numbers. I don't have anything picked for that. I don't have my WIPGO picked for next month. So, you know, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll just fly by the seat of my pants. Okay. So, let's see what we got. So I did my 1 thread a day. The only thing I didn't get done with Susan from Sweet Wing Studio was December 31st. Did get that done. That was New Year's Eve. Don't know why. Or maybe I just didn't fill it in. Let me see. I did get it done. But it wasn't the right, it was not the right thing. I wanted to work on Nativity Tiny Town, that's why. So this is my December from last time. Now I want you to look at my book of days. This book of days was well loved. See? You can tell I used it. And I liked it so much, I bought the 2026 book of days. But my December, this is what I've got. And my statistics, I had 4 new starts, 4 finishes, 4 FFOs. 4 was a good number, wasn't it? I had 1 day that I didn't get to stitch, and that was on Christmas Eve. The only retreat thing I went to was the Zoom Jingle Ball. I went to 3 stitch-ins. I worked on 16 of my whips that were different. So that was good. That's the best I've done all year. I had no restarts, thank goodness. I worked on the Cat and the Cardinal Sow. I worked on the FFO Challenge 2025 because I had 4 FFOs. I worked on WIPGO 2025. Even though I didn't meet my goals, I got really close. So on one of them. So then I worked on temperature stitching and the 1 thread a day challenge. So my goals were hashtag 13 for the 250th sow and the temperature stitching. My free, I just colored in. I didn't have anything for that. So let's move to 2026. Yeah. And I noticed that I have less whips than what I've been saying I had. So we're not going to count whips anymore because evidently I can't keep track. But I had finished, let's see, how many for the, Okay. I've only finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 13. So I've only got January, February, March, April, May, June. So I've got 6 months and I've got to do 8 more. So I better get my rear in gear. So hopefully I'll get a Home Sweet Home, like America Home Sweet Home done. I'll get the Patriotic Scissor Fobs done, but I'll just count them as one for that. Yeah. And there's a couple of other things I want to get done too. So we'll see if I can't rev it up and get going on that. All right, then next we had, where's my new book? Oh, goodness. You know, if I could keep up with stuff, I might be dangerous. Okay. Oh, but before I do my new book, I forgot almost. I always forget these, and I need to do them first. I got some sweet cards, and I'm going to start with Christmas cards that came after Christmas. This one is Greetings of the Season, and this came from Judy. Thank you so much, Judy. I can't talk today. Can you tell? She's a wonderful viewer, and she's a long-time viewer, and I really, really appreciate it. This made my day brighter when it needed to be brighter. Then I got a card from Pam and Steph after Christmas. It says, cheers to new beginnings and great adventures 2026. Happiest New Year. So I guess it's a Happiest New Year card. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Stephanie. So sweet. Then I got this card that says, it's from another viewer and a really good friend that I met through Friend Stitch, Wendy. And it says, sometimes it helps just to know someone cares. And I do. Thank you, Wendy. That meant so much. And she sent me this cute little Scotty dog. And where did he go? Oh, I think he's on my scissors downstairs. But he's cute. Yes. I'll get him and show him another video. I'm so sorry. Oh, my goodness. It is just really, really cute. I'm going to keep this out for him. Oh, no. Here he is. Okay. Hang on. I took him off. Okay. There he is. Isn't he cute? I've never seen that before. So, so cute. I think I'm going to make him a zipper pull. I really do. I like him. Okay. And then I got another card. No, I showed this one last time. Never mind. Okay. So we're good on the cards. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You don't know how much it means to go to the mailbox and open the mailbox and see a letter or a card, because everything costs so much to mail these days, and it's greatly appreciated. I'm not asking, you know, oh, send me a card, but for the ones that did, thank you, thank you. All right, now, my new book of days. All right, we'll see if we can't keep it in better shape than the last one. So far, I've stitched every day. It may not have been much, but I've stitched. Okay. There you go. So that's what I've got done. And I've used some of the wonderful stickers that everybody sent me. Thank you so, so much. And I've got 3 finishes already this year. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. New starts and 1 FFO this year, and that's all I've got done so far, and no restarts. So this is going to be a year of adventure, so I can't wait. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm going to put the free pattern from Violets and Verses, because we have such a big storm coming, and some of y'all are already seeing the snow. We only get ice. My youngest daughter gets rain, and my oldest son gets lots of ice, and my middle daughter gets, well, my oldest daughter, she gets ice also, because she lives in Columbia, South Carolina. But my oldest son lives in western North Carolina in the mountains, and they're planning to get lots of snow. We have no groceries here. Everybody goes crazy buying milk and bread and toilet paper. Yeah. So anyway, I hope we have power. If we don't, we have plenty of kerosene and firewood and food, and I've cooked a lot, so Ralph and I won't go hungry. But thank you so much. I hope y'all stay safe during the storms, and I hope you have power if you're affected by the storms, and if you're not, yeah. And oh, Dolores isn't here because she's in Charleston, South Carolina, where they're not expecting anything. I'm so happy for her, but she's going to call me to check to see when to come home. She's with her family, so she's having a really good time, but I really miss her. Yeah, hadn't seen anybody much. So until next time, hope I have power next week, and happy stitching. And remember, if you don't start it, you can't finish it. And I'm going to insert the pattern here at the end. Bye-bye.